Alright guys, we've got something here called the decentralized sound system. How it works, I've got a portable FM transmitter. It's rigged up to all these stereos to talk to them simultaneously. This is the first time it's being demonstrated. I wanted to bring it out, show the Occupy Vancouver movement, get it on film, and hope that this system can spread to all the Occupy protests around the world. Right now, we're going to hand out a boombox. If you want to come up to the front, grab a stereo. We can distribute the sound all the way out to the crowd. We need them all the way to the front, all the way to the back. Thank you. Okay. Mic check. Hi there. You're supposed to echo me. How are things? Things are pretty good. Thanks for asking. My name is Gary, and this is a decentralized sound system. It's a portable FM radio transmitter that can broadcast to hundreds of battery-powered boomboxes. It's probably the ultimate way to communicate with large crowds of people. 2 years ago, a friend and I created the first decentralized sound system. Since then, we've used it to throw 25 crazy parties for thousands of people across Canada from coast to coast. These are called decentralized dance parties, and they are held exclusively in public spaces. We never ask for permission, because we do not need to ask for permission to gather peacefully in our public spaces. The system is extremely resilient and extremely effective, and 20 boomboxes can easily transmit music or voice to a crowd of 500. It's infinitely scalable, completely portable, and can also be rigged to broadcast silently through headphones when noise regulations are an issue, as they're currently facing in New York. All the equipment is compact, inexpensive, and readily available, and it can communicate twice as fast as the human microphone. For these reasons, I believe that decentralized sound systems would be a great asset to the Occupy movement. I brought the system here today in order to properly introduce it, help people to communicate, and also to share my own views on decentralization as it relates to the objectives of this movement. Before I begin, I should probably let you know who I am and where I'm coming from, if that's okay. Won't take long. I'm a local writer, filmmaker, and iconoclast. I've spent the past decade obsessively researching politics, economics, anthropology, sociology, history, education, and the open source movement. My research has taken me to over 80 countries on every single continent around the world, leading to encounters with all forms of government and interactions with thousands of people from all walks of life. This has afforded me a fairly unique worldview and perspectives on the goals of the Occupy movement. I love and believe in this movement because it is decentralized. It is based on the autonomy of the individual, respecting everyone as different but belonging to the group. With no central authority, it will be very difficult to corrupt and impossible to shut down. This revolution is unique to history and definitely has the potential to change everything forever. And I want to do whatever I can to help it grow and flourish. I've spent the past week learning everything I can about the Occupy movement and would like to share my views on how I think we can best tackle what seems to have emerged as the defining issue. How to put an end to the corrupt rule of the global corporate oligarchy that is destroying our economies, our planet, and the very fabric of our societies. History has proven that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So logic decrees that we must never allow power to become concentrated in the hands of the few, for this can only lead to tyranny and destruction. In order to put an end to this, our global power structures must be decentralized. and those that remain. I'm going to speed it up. I'm sorry. We can do this. We have the technology. Some hold the opinion that capitalism is to blame for the financial crisis and many of the woes currently plaguing our societies. I strongly disagree. The problems we currently witness, the wars, the pollution, the inequalities, these are the global fallout from the ever-expanding blight upon our lives that is crony capitalism, also known as corporatism. Yes. Corporatism is the collusion between private corporate interests and monolithic state power. Some call this fascism. I'm almost done. I'm sorry, guys.
Keep going, man. Keep going.
It is an insidious global problem affecting all citizens of the world. Yes. Corporatism has enabled the 1% to accumulate and maintain a perverse concentration of wealth and power. Corporatism allows them to manipulate the monetary system, subvert the legal system, destroy the environment, exploit the population, and drag us all into wars without end. We are not asked to discuss the issues publicly and to decide what should happen. Some would say that the election system does that we have representation. But how many of us truly feel represented? Shouldn't we feel represented? But the manipulation and exploitation of the many by the few has been a constant throughout human history, even before the advent of corporations. This is because our power structures have always been centralized. But that no longer has to be the case. I have one more paragraph. One more. Can I read my one last paragraph? Is that okay? Yeah.
Never apologize for being you!
I wasn't really sorry, I'm sorry. But that no longer has to be the case because we now have the technology to turn everything on its head. For the past several years, I've been developing a blueprint for a new model of decentralized, open source societal organization. It is called the decentralized community. Its goal is to minimize the role of government by facilitating a revolution in self-reliance and radical collective empowerment. I believe wholeheartedly that open source is the wave of the future and that the open source model can be successfully applied to all aspects of society. It can be used to phase out the majority of government and revolutionize the fields of education, medicine, law, environmental protection, foreign aid, and social services. And perhaps most importantly, usher in a new era of open monetary systems. The present models are corrupted, unsustainable, and obsolete. Around the world, we are witnessing the beginning of their end, the beginning of the long process of taking power away from the few and learning to live in autonomous communities where we are all responsible for each other and where we have the authority to help one another. But in order to prevail in this age of global revolution, we, the 99%, must recognize our true enemy. Our fight is not against the police. Our fight is not against corporations. Our fight is not against rich people. Our fight is against the notion that we don't have the power to bypass the system and organize ourselves right now. We have the living. We must join together and become the change we want to see, not beg our governments to create it for us. It starts here, it starts now. We are the 99%. Things further, I'd like to talk to you later. We'll also be playing tunes later tonight, so let me know if you have any requests. Thank you. I'm sorry I held up the General Assembly.
Hello. We are going to start in literally 5 minutes. In the interim, if you can translate, including sign language, please step forward.
Anywhere you want.
I like to move it, move it. All girls all over the world. Original man stuff and on your case one. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it.
Mamma mia, let me go.